Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is your first time, welcome. My name is Samira. Nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy this place enough to want to stay. If you're returning, however, welcome boo. You know how we do it. Now you guys, so just in case you don't know, I recently gave birth. Okay, I'm mom. Okay, so I've been telling you guys about everything that's going on with my child and pregnancy and so on and so forth. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you about the delivery story. Now the initial plan was to just show you a video and then just let the video show you everything and maybe do a voiceover when I have to. But unfortunately, the person who was supposed to take the video got overwhelmed that day, which is very understanding because you guys, it was not easy. Okay? It was not easy. He got overwhelmed and couldn't film everything. So I'm going to be telling you guys the story and I'll show you some videos and pictures as I go, just to, you know, let you guys understand where I'm coming from. Now, by the way, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section and I'll probably film them in another video or whatever, but let me know. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. You guys, so this is out of topic, right? But I remember when I was pregnant, right? Each time I was walking around and I saw someone pregnant or I saw another person who was pregnant, I'd be like, hey, you did it, sister. And it was so funny and silly, like, I don't think you guys understand how weird it is to walk around pregnant, because like the whole world knows that you did the do and got pregnant. Like, anyway, that was it, by the way. So like I said in my previous video, right, when it was almost time for me to give birth, when I was almost due, what happened was that my partner and I went to the hospital, right? And then the doctor was not sure if he should induce me or not, even though I hadn't passed the 40 weeks yet. I think I was like 39 or 38 or 39, and I was supposed to go back the next week, which would have been my 39th week, but he wasn't sure. And then he was like, oh, they might have to induce me if like by 39 going, it doesn't, like, there's no sign of the baby, right? And I had heard so much that induction is very painful, you guys. So induction is when they I don't know exactly what they do, but like they do something to prompt the body to help you give birth, right? And I don't know how the process goes because I did not do it. However, what happened was that he was like, oh, they might have to induce me and everything, because mind you, at the time I was not getting any contractions, right? Because like I said, I had been taking this magnesium and other things that prevented me from getting contractions even as at that time. So I wasn't getting any contractions at all, which is a bit, you know, a bit of a red flag. So basically the doctor was like, you know what, we could do an induction, but if that doesn't work, then we might have to like book a cesarean section for you, probably known as CS. So that's the one Ghanaians call operation. Congratulations to anyone who has given birth to CS and everything. I don't know what my next childbirth or whatever is going to be, but there were two things that I knew that I did not like. I knew that I had to pray for. I was praying that I would give birth through vaginal birth, and then secondly, I didn't want to induce. I wanted everything to be natural. I wanted to feel everything, like I wanted to naturally feel everything. So I actually prayed to God that He should just make it come the way it's supposed to come. So I remember getting to that time, that day I went to the hospital and then he was like, okay, we might have to do some examination to see whatever. You guys, I kid you not, right before my eye, he was like, I should lie down, he has to do some examination. And then the next thing he was like, okay, he has to put his hand inside, whatever. And like, you guys, he gradually pushed his fist in it, like his, not his fist, just his hand, like his hand. And I remember like he kind of like did something where he just like kind of, it felt like he was turning the placenta or like rub, I don't know how to explain it, but you guys, he put his hand there and it was extremely painful. I'm not even gonna lie, it was extremely painful. I don't know if that's what induction is, but it was extremely painful. And then when he did it, and then like I didn't cry. Like sometimes, you guys, I tend to have a high tolerance for pain, especially when I like, well, that's not true. I'm just good at enduring things. Okay, if you've been through the life that I've been through, you kind of learn how to endure some pain, right? So sometimes I'm very good at enduring pain. So when he put his hand in there, like I was in serious pain, but I didn't scream. I grabbed the sheet and everything so hard instead of screaming. And then he was like, oh, I'm a good candidate for vaginal delivery because of this, because he said apparently most women usually cry a lot, like scream and cry a lot when he does that or when that happens. So he was like, I'm a good candidate, which means without that I could have been like a CS candidate. So because of that, he's gonna give me some time. Actually, he had said he would do a CS. So he was like, because of that, he's gonna give me some time and see if the labor will start naturally, because he thinks I'm a good candidate for vaginal birth. Hallelujah. I had also heard that Primrose, my partner's sister, God bless her, she had heard about Primrose, evening Primrose, that is good for inducing induction. It's good for like helping your baby come out. And just so you know, evening Primrose is good for inducing labor. Like I had asked her and then she gave them to me, which was very, thank you so much, God bless you. So she gave them to me and I kept them. Now the time I was supposed to give birth and my partner's birthday were very close, and there was a part of me that wanted them to have the same birthday, but at the same time I was like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, so I did not take the induction pills until like a couple of days after his birthday. Now fast forward to when I finally took them, right? So I think before the day I got induced, I had taken one of the Primrose because, like I said, I wasn't like ready. I think I was just like prepping my body that, oh, something is gonna come. So I took one that very day, and I think on the day before, like, I got induced finally, I think I took two. I insert it? I think I inserted it, right? Now you guys, don't do this. If you want to do this, please read about it just to be sure. I had read about it, and I took, like, in the end I just thought it was a better idea, okay? But don't go do things without asking. I took the evening Primrose and it worked for me. Doesn't mean I should do it as well, okay? So be careful out there. Don't go and mention my name anyway. But anyway, I did that. I took the evening Primrose. I think I inserted two that very day, and you guys, I kid you not, the evening, like, I think I took it right before I went to bed. The next morning around 5 a.m. to 6, I was just lying there and I felt like I had to pee, right? So I got down, and before then I was like I was very conscious that it was going to happen at any time, right? So I just woke up and I went to the washroom to like pee, and then I just felt like a maybe I'll just put like a sound there, but it was just like a pop sound, like, and I would never forget this. Alright guys, I just had like pull, and that was like while I was sitting on the shower, right, on the toilet seat. And then I checked, and then, like, I think when I got up there was still like some leak, and I was like, oh snap, I think my water broke. Now mind you, right, before I gave birth, right, I was living with my partner because, I mean, just in case you did not know, I've been living alone. Like, I live on my own, I live alone, so I had no one taking care of me, because in my previous video I had told you guys that my sister had gone to school, and even though my friends knew, I just tend to be this kind of person that likes to do things on my own. I want to, like, you know, those people that just want to suffer in vain. That's me. Like, I just like suffering. That's not true. I hate suffering. Okay, Satan, you're not gonna take this and use it against me. I love soft life. Don't come for me. But anyway, it was just like this. I just like being alone so much that I easily get tired of people, so I usually like being alone. So because of that, during that time I was like mostly alone, but my partner did not want that. He wanted to be around me when it happened, right? So eventually I was with him, like, during that time. So basically on that day when, like, it happened, I just like rushed back into, like, to the bedroom, and I was like, yo. I was like, I tapped him and I was like, yo, I think my water broke. I was like, really? And then he got up and he was like panicking, and I was like, okay, like, and mind you, because I was going to like antenatal and everything, they had told me to pack my bags like as early as 27 weeks or something like that, because they said with pregnancy you can never tell, and that your water can break at any time and all those things. Did I really pack my bag that early? If you don't, we know that I did not, but I did eventually. Okay, I did eventually. So what happened was that very day, we took my bag and we packed my stuff, and then we just like got into the car and then started driving. Now mind you, I was still okay. I remember even when we were going, we met Ghana police anyway. But my tummy was also very small. It wasn't as big as it should be, even at this point, right? Sorry you guys, I have ADHD, so if it feels like I'm just going from one topic to another, that's why. Okay, so bear with me. It will make sense at the end, but everything might be somewhere. Okay, so let's just bear with me. But anyway, while we're going there, like, we had some issues with the police, but eventually we made it, right? And then when we got to the hospital, right, you guys, mind you, at this time my contractions were not that bad either. Like, it was just okay, and I didn't feel like it wasn't as intense. I had watched people's videos on YouTube where people like their contractions starts like days before, and then they're struggling. Mine was not like that, not gonna lie. It was just like, oh, we are there, it's something is there, but it's not that bad. I feel something, but I can endure it. And don't forget that my endurance is kind of high, at least that's what I tell myself. So fast forward, we get to the hospital, and the only reason why I think that had it not been because the hospital had told us that as soon as my water breaks we should come in, I would have probably said we should stay a bit longer, because I wasn't feeling it as much as I thought I should feel it, you know. But they had warned us that as soon as the water breaks we should come in, and that was why we rushed to the hospital. And prior to that, my partner had already booked like a room in the hospital for everything, so my room was already ready. We got to the hospital and they were like, oh, here's your room, blah blah blah. We went into my room. I did a video, I'll show you everything. And you guys, mind you, right, at this point I was still feeling okay. Now my partner's sister, may God bless her, she's like literally one of the best people you ever meet. And I remember while we were like going through everything, she came to the hospital and everything, and she has children, right? She knew like the whole thing, and she would always tell me that, oh, do this, don't do that, like calm down, breathe in, this is how you should breathe, this is how, like that kind of thing. So when she came to the hospital, I remember like she was just like taking me through everything, and you guys, I was feeling good. I thought I was on top of my game. So for anyone who doesn't know, contractions are like when the muscles of your uterus gets tight and then it relaxes. So it's like when you hold a fist and relax, something like that. So your uterus does that when you start getting contractions, which is why you feel the pain, right? So I was getting contractions, and I had heard that during childbirth, you guys, no one explained this to me. I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm going to be as honest as I am, and if you feel like I'm dumb, then that's it, but that's the truth. I had read so many times that during childbirth, like the closer your contractions, the closer you are, and when you start to dilate, I think it's from 1 to 10, and when you get to 10, it means you're ready to give birth. And for anyone who's confused, dilation is usually when your cervix gets wider and wider, like, you know, before you give birth, it has to get wide for the baby to be able to come out, right? So dilation, back then I didn't even know what dilation was, but dilation is just like when it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and until it gets to a 10 where they're like sure that, oh, the baby can finally come out. Girl, if you want, go up and come down. You ain't gonna give birth. They won't let you push. In fact, it's not gonna happen. So contractions will have to be like 3 to 5 minutes before you can start attending to and everything. And you guys, tell me why my dumb ass thought that 3 to 5 minutes meant that, oh, when you get a contraction here, it will take 5 minutes for you to get another one. Tell me why I thought that. Tell me why. So contractions come and go. When the baby is ready to come out, you get contractions, okay? But depending on how dilated you are, the contractions are more regular than usual. So what I used to think was that maybe I'll get a contraction now, and then there will be space, and then in 5 minutes I'll get another one. But that was not the case, okay? Me, my dummy, I didn't think that. I didn't know that. What it meant was that your contractions can last longer. Like if you get it for a much longer time. Am I feeling properly? Yes, that's when you know that you're getting there, okay? So it's not like the time between the contractions, it's actually how long the contraction lasts. And I don't know why no one explained it to me. I didn't get it at that time. I don't know. So fast forward, we get to the hospital, and as soon as we got to the hospital, you guys, they gave me this huge diaper. You know, like those diapers that old people wear? That's what they gave me. I feel like giving birth is just like, just go to the hospital and say, you know what, I'm here to embarrass myself. I don't give an F, and when I'm done, I'm just gonna go home. That's what happened. Because like you guys, I literally went there to embarrass myself, because they gave me this huge diaper with a gown. You know how the hospital gowns are, right? The back is like out there, so anyone who sees me there knows that, yo, it's out there. So we got to the hospital, I changed into whatever, and I had to walk around a lot because walking also helps with the dilation. So I was walking around a lot. My partner was like walking around with me. His sister was like rubbing my back. Oh my god, like you guys, talking about this is even making me emotional, because they were like really there for me, right? She was rubbing my back, telling me what to do and all those things. And when we started it, she was telling me that, oh, Mr. Samira, you're killing it. Oh, you're doing very well. You guys, like I said, she's very sweet, right? She's telling me that, oh, this is good. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my god, this is what have they been talking about? This is easy. I can do this. Childbirth is this. Forget it. I got this. Oh gosh. Anyway, we're walking and walking. This thing starts getting heavier and more harder to do, right? To walk around with. Right? I was like, oh, the pain is getting like closer and closer. And they were like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to. And I'm like, ah, wait, isn't it supposed to be like if I feel the pain right now, I'll feel it again in 5 minutes? Like, nope, that's not what happens. What happens is that your contractions will get longer and longer, and that is when you know it's time. Now fast forward, like I said earlier, I had planned that I wanted to feel everything naturally. So my grandma said I was not gonna get epidural. Like I didn't get epidural. It humbled me real quick. I think it was also because I felt like I was doing well. Anyway, that changed quickly, man. From a minute to the other, your girl was screaming. Well, not screaming. I'm not a screamer. I can be, but I'm not. From a minute to the other, I was crying. I was basically wailing. I was like, you guys, I was all over the place. I was tired. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Because the pain kept getting more and more and more intense, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I can't, you know, right, at a point, right, even the motivational speech that was getting me hyped, and at a point I just wanted to tell my sister, my partner to shut up. No offense. At a point, like I wanted to scream my head like, please shut up, but I could not. Like the home training me was still there, so I could not. Because like you guys, at a point I didn't want to hear anyone's voice. I didn't want anyone to try and calm me down. I was just like, oh my god, what is happening to my body? I remember around the time I had to eat tea because you need the strength to be able to push. They brought me oats and everything, and that was way before like my things started. Like I ordered oats and bread, and I was like, I got this, and egg omelette. It got there, you guys. I'm struggling. They're like, you have to eat a bit. How am I supposed to eat when this thing is killing me? It got to a time that I could not take it anymore, and then that was when they took me from my room to like the delivery ward, the delivery room. We got to the delivery room, and then they checked my thing, and they were like, oh, I'm not dilated enough, I have to walk a bit more. I walked a bit more, came back, they checked again, and it was like, oh, it's still like around, was it 2 or 3? I'm not sure, 3 max. So after that, the pain was too much, and then I asked if it was too late for them to give me the epidural. Now mind you, the reason why I didn't want to get epidural was also that, apart from the fact that I wanted to have a natural birth, also because I had read somewhere that people said they have like spinal issues after like having it, because they have to inject into your spine, and I was so afraid. Like I just didn't want any of that. Like you guys, I was trying as much as I could to minimize the damage that childbirth can cause, and if I could, I wanted to minimize it as much as possible. Now you guys, don't be like me. If you can take it, take it. I asked them if they could give me epidural by then they were like, oh no, it's too late, we cannot. But we have this thing called Entonox, which is like nitrous oxide, I think, popularly known as laughing gas. I didn't know that by then. So they're like, oh, we have this thing and we can give you some and it will make you feel better. You guys, if I tell you that that thing literally helped me, no kidding, like I'm not even joking, right? Because I remember like I was around 3 and I started taking this thing, and before I could say Jack, I was already around 8 or 9. I'm like, wait, what? We got that fast? But that could also be because I was like kind of gone. I think we went to the hospital and everything around, we got there and got checked into my room around 6 to 7 maybe, and then everything like within the childbirth and everything was probably around 12 to 1. But basically, you guys, I was in this ward and like I was just like trying everything, and before I knew it was 8 and I was taking this laughing gas. You guys, I don't think I've ever been as high as I was that day. Like your girl was gone. At a point I was throwing up, at a point I wanted to pee, and I think at a point they were afraid that if I pee again the baby might fall out or something. So the first time they let me pee, but the second time they were like, oh no, you can't pee because we are very close now. So they gave me like this thing called catheter. I think catheter is that what it's called. They put it like inside it so that you can pee through it too. Very painful, very painful. But anyway, after that, like the thing was like coming, and then this boy like, oh, you're not ready, and I'm like, no, I'm ready, I can feel this baby coming. And like, no, you can't. And another thing about childbirth is that, you guys, when it gets there, right, you just want to push. Okay, so I kept telling them this baby's coming. They were like, no, it's not coming. I'm like, it's coming. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna push. And then the first time I forgot all my push exercises, bang, you guys, I forgot everything about that. And then I started screaming. They were like, don't scream, just push. I'm like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. But anyway, then I started pushing, right? So the first push was a long freaking ass push, because I had to breathe in before I pushed, right? And it was very long. And I remember like I pushed so hard that the baby, I could feel the baby coming out. You guys, I can never explain this to anyone, right? The pain of childbirth. Now I understand why people do not talk about it very much, because before I was like, why are there not enough videos? Why is no one? You guys, it's not easy. That's why. It's not. But anyway, I start pushing, and then I feel like the baby's coming out, and I could literally feel my V expanding, right? This baby starts coming out, and then I get tired. Now another thing I didn't tell you guys is that before I started pushing, right, there was a point I passed out. Like I almost passed. My partner said he panicked so much because I passed out. Because at the point I was like, oh my god, this laughing gas is gonna kill me. Like I was so wasted that at the point I literally passed out. That's how bad it was. While I was like on the gas and everything, I thought that you didn't have to like use the whole thing. So at the point I was like, no, I'm not gonna take this anymore. Let me just finish the story and tell you how much the bill was, because that particular gas thing was more expensive than anything. Anyway, so tell me why I'm pushing, and I feel this child's head coming out, right? And then I could not take it. Like I could not push anymore, and I relaxed. Now, even though this, under normal circumstance, right, what happened, this particular thing I'm going to tell you guys would have been a very huge disadvantage, right? However, my people pleasing desires and the fact that I was brought from a family where you didn't want to disappoint anyone kind of helped me. Let me explain, right? So while I was pushing, I was about to let go. Like I was like relaxing. I turned around and I saw one of the window, and I was just like, oh no, it's going back. And like she looked very disappointed, right? And I was like, oh no, hell no, there's no way I'm gonna start from afresh, because that's what I thought. I was like, if this baby is going back, then there's no way I'm gonna start afresh. So you guys, I gathered all my strength and I gave the second longest push of my life, freaking life. Okay, anyway, as soon as I pushed the second time, this baby came out. Like the head came out. You guys, I'm literally getting goosebumps. The head of the baby came out, and they were like, oh, that's good, and they held the head. And you guys, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. If you're a child and you have a mother, I hope you treat them better. I know we're human and we forget sometimes, but mothers really do go through it. I can't. That's talking about this is making me teary because you guys, it was not easy. But anyway, the first part was done, right? Now the body has to come out, and that's what they don't tell you guys. The body coming out means more stretching for your V. I relaxed for a bit, whatever, and then they were like, oh, we have to take out the rest of the body. Did I have to push again? I don't remember. But basically, they pulled the child out, and when the shoulder was coming, I could really feel my thing expand. Now mind you, babies are extremely flexible, so I don't know, God is just amazing. Let me just put it that way. God is extremely amazing. Thank you, Jesus. And then from there, they had to I had to push the placenta out. There was an option for one person to come into the hospital. It was either my mom or my partner, but I chose my partner. Your mom has already been through it. It depends on how close you are with your mom. If you feel like your mom is going to give you the motivation you need, absolutely amazing. But I think my partner was absolutely amazing too. He had me hold and squeeze his arm throughout. There was a point that I did not even want to because I felt bad for him, but he would reach out, he would give me his hand, he would do this, squeeze my arm, squeeze whatever you want, punch me if you want to, that kind of thing. So that was kudos to him. That was really nice. And I think that also letting him seeing everything that I had to go through kind of made him also appreciate childbirth and everything. So that was a kudos. If you want to, you should probably let your partner be there if you can. As soon as the child comes out, I just take the baby and then put it on my tummy, right? And then all I see is just a bunch of cords. My baby was very tall, but not as big as most babies. So they placed the baby on me, and then I'm just looking at it oh my God, did I really do this? And I always thought that as soon as I gave it, I was gonna cry. I was very convinced that I was gonna cry when I see the baby. But when I saw the baby, I don't think my eyes were dry. I didn't cry at that moment. I was just looking at the baby oh my God, did I really do this? And it didn't click at that moment. The next thing I knew, they just gave me injections, pyong, pyong, pyong. It was so fast because apparently you have to inject it to help push the placenta out. They injected me very fast, very weird. I'm what was that for? Because they didn't even inform me, But anyway, they gave me 2 or 3 injections, and then the placenta came out. And it was after that, only after the drugs started wearing off, that I felt that catheter, because while I was pushing, I wanted to pee as well. Thank God I didn't poo, but I wanted to pee as well. So that was when they inserted the catheter. So basically after that, they had to move me to my ward and then clean my baby first before they bring my baby to me, you guys. And throughout that time, I was just very numb. I was just quiet, okay, that just happened. I was still trying to process it, but I could not bring myself to sleep. Anyway, fast forward, my baby finally comes, and I'm oh my God. Actually, Ruby was there as well. Thank you, baby. But the love I received that day was absolutely amazing, because from a minute to the other, I had flowers coming in, I had balloons coming in and all those things. And apart from that, they're the emotional support, rubbing my back, making sure everything, it was just one of the most beautiful days that I remember. And I think just knowing that my child was there was everything. Anyway, it went there around 7. I gave it around 2:20 something in the afternoon. When I saw my baby, I was just oh my God, she was absolutely gorgeous. She was everything I had ever prayed for. And I'm just oh my God, thank you for this baby. And that was when I think it dawned on me, after I saw the baby and everything, that it dawned on me that I had really done this. And that was the only time I remember crying or tears coming out. I feel there's a thin line between giving birth and death. I feel it's very thin. You feel you've crossed over, but you've not. Because there was a time that my partner was saying that he thought something was going to happen to me, because I felt I was not there, and he would keep saying, wake up, don't fall asleep. And to be honest, there was a time I felt I blacked out completely, because I just didn't know what was going on, And I'm super grateful to God. I'm super grateful to my loved ones. I'm super grateful to my partner, his family, my mom, my parents, everyone, literally everyone, and to my baby as well. And to me, of course, girl, I did the pushing. But I'm super grateful to everyone, because not gonna lie, this was not easy. I didn't even think I could do it, if I'm being honest. I told myself that I could, and I know I can, but I was just you might not, what if it doesn't, that kind of thing. So being able to do it and come out of it with so much love around you guys, it was nothing I had expected. When I first got pregnant, I just thought I was going to do it alone. I just thought that it wasn't going to be fun, and here I am with so much love and support, and I'm just how did I get this lucky? Anyway, a big thank you to each and every one of you. You're watching this and you're a part of the journey. Thank you so much. You've been amazing. And so that's it. The video was longer than I expected, but not gonna lie, this was a complete new experience for me. This is something I never thought was even possible. Going through all this made me appreciate mothers even more. It made me respect mothers even more, because let me tell you something, right? Mothers are the freaking ish. Now, a lot of things happened after that. that we can talk about if you guys are still interested, postpartum care and all those things. But thank you guys so much for all the love that I've received these past couple of days. It's been absolutely amazing. If I left something out, please ask me. I'll be willing to. Oh my god, I almost forgot, you guys. Tell me what, after taking that laughing gas thing, we saw the bill and it's like about 5,000 Ghana cedis for just the laughing gas. I'm like, I should have finished the whole thing. You guys, I'm not even when I was upset, I was like, I should definitely have finished the whole can, because oh my god, that thing was so expensive. But anyway, it was worth it. It was worth it. I was high. Your girl was high as hell. Thank you guys so much for all the congratulatory messages. I never know how to say that word. Yeah, that messages. Thank you guys so much for the love, the support, and those of you who are still going through your pregnancy and everything. Some of you have reached out to me. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are receiving all the love and care that you can get, and I hope that you guys continue to share your stories with me. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a Q&A where you can ask more questions, or you just want to ask me directly. That's also fine. And do not forget to like this video, share it. Okay, please share it. Helps YouTube promote my content, and I will see you in my next video. Until next time, I love you guys so much, and bye.